Bill O'Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News, Monday, June 3rd, 2024. Stand up for your country. Well, once again, nothing official on President Biden's schedule. I think the strategy now is for the president to tread water throughout the summer, hoping Donald Trump will blow up. Big event, of course, is the June 27th debate, and we'll see how that shakes, obviously. But Mr. Biden, for the last 4 weeks, has really done nothing. He's going to Connecticut tonight to raise money, but that's not part of his official duties. I mean, he's got a lot of problems here, especially on the southern border, which might derail him. Now, violence is mounting among migrants in this country illegally, and that is the subject of the Talking Points memo this evening. So in New York City, 1:45 a.m. this morning, Monday, June 3rd. 2 police officers shot by a Venezuelan illegal alien named Bernardo Mata, 19 years old. He entered the country illegally through Eagle Pass, Texas, in July 2023. He is living at a Marriott hotel in Queens, paid for by the city of New York, which is being used as a migrant shelter. Police say Mr. Mata, now in custody, is a subject in multiple robbery investigations. Okay. Now, he's entitled to due process, but he shot 2 cops. Those police officers are okay, thank God. Richard Yaruso, 26 years old. Christopher Abreu, also 26. Yaruso was shot in the chest and his vest saved his life. And Abreu was shot in the ankle. Both went to the hospital. Now, Mata, the illegal migrant, had a gun, an illegal gun, which is what all criminals in New York City have. Okay? So we started to do some investigating today. My staff did a very good job. There is no agency, federal agency, that tracks illegal migrants committing violent crimes. Okay? They don't have the data. FBI doesn't have the data. Nobody has the data. Should. They don't. But we found out that it is not unusual to have migrants involved in violence. So you all know about Lake and Reilly in Georgia, the co-ed, University of Georgia co-ed, killed, allegedly, but the guy is guilty, Jose Ibarra, another illegal from Venezuela. He on Friday pled not guilty, but they'll convict him. I mean, the evidence is overwhelming on this guy. And then there's a whole bunch of other anecdotal things that I could give you, but that's not going to get us anywhere. Here's what's going to get us somewhere. These stats are really interesting. So, there are currently 6.2 million migrants on the, quote, non-detained docket in the United States. This is under the Biden administration. What is the non-detained docket? That is where federal authorities release people with no supervision because the feds can't process their asylum requests. 6.2 million. Running around. Out of that, it is estimated that 620,000 of them, 10%, have a criminal conviction. This comes out of the House Judiciary Committee. And that makes sense. 10%, sometimes as high as 15%, of any group in the world are miscreants. 10% of cops, 10% of priests, 10% of the population. Okay? Overwhelmingly, migrants who come here are not violent. But if you have 10 million under the Biden administration, which is a number that pretty much everybody accepts, that's 1 million that are violent. Shouldn't be here. I mean, there's no two sides to the story. More stats. So Under Donald Trump, the Border Patrol, okay, arrested for crimes about 21,000 people, okay, on migrants, 21,000. Under Biden, more than 50,000, more than a double. And these are crimes, not just crossing in here asking for asylum. These are crimes. This is Border Patrol only. All right. Homicide, manslaughter, 110 under Biden. Big number. Assault, battery, domestic violence, 4,000. Selling narcotics, 8,000. And it's a double across the board from Trump. And that's because of the open border policy. Now, the Democrats know, the Biden administration knows, this could sink Joe Biden in November. So Biden's going to issue an executive order at any time. But all it's going to say is, once you get to 4,000 or 2,500, whatever it may be, then we're not going to take any more claims that day, asylum claims. But the crux of this matter is, and we reported this August 9th, 2023, if you go back that far, that President Biden has violated the law. And you talk about Donald Trump in New York court for falsifying business records. Well, President Biden has violated immigration law himself. All right? Immigration law reads this way. The Border Patrol issued a proclamation to clear this up that says all non-citizens, including asylum seekers, declaring their fear of persecution must enter the country at a U.S. port of entry, undergo inspection, go before an immigration judge in order to be allowed to enter the USA. That's the law that Congress passed. Under Biden, you can apply for asylum in the desert, in the middle of the Rio Grande, anywhere, no port of call, no judge appearance, nothing. You're in. Okay. You'll be lucky if they put your name in a computer, because 6.2 million haven't. They're gone. This is a violation of law. And of course, it's impeachable. Of course, they can impeach Biden on this. But everybody knows the Democratic Party would never vote to convict him in the Senate, ever. Because the Democrats want an open border to heighten their voting rolls down the road. This is not, again, subject to debate. So when you see what a mess this is and how dangerous, then you think back to the 2 New York City police officers shot at 1:20 this morning. And, you know, you got 1 million migrants here that are dangerous, and that's all on Joe Biden. Not to say some of them wouldn't have gotten across. They would have, but nowhere near the numbers. Remember, after Trump put the Remain in Mexico policy, illegal immigration fell to 850,000 a year. Now it's 3-4 million. And that's the memo. All right, as I said, Joe Biden goes to Connecticut to scoop up money, and that's it. That's all he does. New poll. Harris about, this is after the Trump conviction. Democrat 37, Republican 36, Independent 25. Fair poll. Question. If the 24 election were held today, would you vote for Trump 43, Biden 42? Again, after the conviction. Don't know 14. It's a high number. No, don't know. Election were held today. Who will you vote for with 5 candidates? Trump 40, Biden 38. RFK Jr. 11, Cornel West 1, Jill Stein 1, unsure 8. Do you think the prosecutions of Trump are fair and unbiased? Fair and unbiased 49, politically motivated 51. Okay, that's an interesting poll, I thought. Hunter Biden gun trial begins in Delaware, federal beef. He was a drug addict. He's pleading not guilty. I don't know how he gets out of this. I mean, they got him on tape, his own laptop, saying he had the gun. He was smoking crack every 15 minutes. I don't know. He's entitled to due process, okay? But that's an embarrassment. So here's a statement out of the White House today. Joe Biden didn't write it, but here's what came out. Quote, I am the president, but I am also a dad. Jill and I love our son. We are so proud of the man he is today. Hunter's resilience in the face of adversity and the strength he has brought to his recovery are inspiring to us, unquote. By the way, Jill Biden is not Hunter Biden's mom, stepmom. Okay. Okay. Am I going to follow it? I'll follow it if anything unusual happens. Shouldn't be long. He's not going to jail. Trump's not going to jail. They're not going to do that. Okay, so back to another poll, ABC News. Democrat 31, Republican 29, Independent 32. Do you think Donald Trump should end his campaign because of the verdict? Should end his campaign 49, should not 37, don't know 14. Do I believe that number? No, but I could be wrong. Do you think the verdict was correct or not correct? Correct 50, not correct 27, don't know 23. So you had 27, 23, that's 50. All right. Finally, do you think charges against Donald Trump were politically motivated? Yes, 47, no, 38. Well, majority think they were politically motivated, but who knows? As another critical election nears, America is gripped by anxiety. Recent studies show that 56% are feeling dread about the upcoming presidential vote in November. That's why I stand with AMAC. It's more than a senior discount organization. AMAC fights for common sense and a return to traditional American values. Visit amac.us/O'Reilly to grab an exclusive election year special, a 4-year AMAC membership for just $30. Members get access to money-saving benefits, the AMAC magazine, free Social Security and Medicare advice, a trusted voice in Washington, and a community of like-minded patriots. Take advantage of this election year special. 4 years for just $30. Be a part of the solution. By joining AMAC, you strengthen a movement dedicated to preserving our cherished principles. Please join now at amac.us/O'Reilly. That's amac.us/O'Reilly. Let's go to the mail. We got Chris Hines in Keller, Texas. Bill, you're right. You said Joe Biden should pardon Trump on Friday. When I heard you say that, I was taken aback, but in a good way. If Biden put America first, he would change the narrative, perhaps win over undecided voters. Yeah. I mean, it would be to Biden's favor, and then he could pardon Hunter. Mike Murray, Dallas, Oregon, outside of Portland. Bill, last thing Biden wants to do is pardon Trump, and the last thing Trump wants is a pardon from Biden. That's probably true. But what does it matter? Shouldn't we be putting the country first? Trying to tamp down a hatred? Marty Meyer, Santa Rosa, California. What Trump needs is a better legal team. They all talk, promising changes. Michael Cohen is the monster Donald Trump created. I think that's right. Absolutely. Joshua Gervin, Hollywood, Florida. Respectfully, can Joe Biden pardon Donald Trump for conviction if it takes place under state law? No. And that's why we said that Governor Hochul of New York would have to join President Biden in the pardons, which she absolutely would. Not going to go up against Biden. Charlotte Lavina, Georgetown, Texas. Bill, your excellent reporting on the Trump conviction calmed me down. After hearing the news, it was a gut punch. I felt hopeless. Thank you for giving me hope that all is not lost. All is not lost. Okay, we're a resilient country. Chet on the message board. Justice will not be served until those who are unaffected are as outraged as those who are. Benjamin Franklin. What a great quote. Thank you for sending that to me. Quote. Chet. Justice will not be served until those who are unaffected are as outraged as those who are. Nice quote, Ben. Trina, concierge member. Trina gets a direct email line to me. And we will reply to Trina if she has any problems within 24 hours, and we will help her. That concierge membership is gold. Okay, Trina. I've always wondered if the people claiming an allegation asking for money for their silence could be sued. What is the recourse of violating a non-disclosure agreement? You can sue, but it's going to cost you a ton of money to do so. And these people know it. So they can run up the tab up, particularly if they get a pro bono lawyer. And there are a lot of lawyers who'll do that kind of work. But if you want to sue somebody who violates a non-disclosure, you can. In certain states, you win. Certain states like New York, you won't. Doug Thacker, Redfield, Maine. Can President Trump's lawyers start the appeal process right away, or do they have to wait until after sentencing? No, they can do it now. They only have 30 days to do it. And that's before the sentencing, so they have to do it. Brenda Okansek, Perry, Michigan. Thanks for your common sense and reporting, O'Reilly. You keep me believing there's still truth in our country. Well, there is here. That's what we have. The pursuit of truth. Paul Petrie, Sarasota, Florida, had a comment on your weekly column, Truth and Consequences. I hope everybody read that. Posted yesterday. As usual, spot on. I'm an avid historian. So now the real question to you, are there enough Americans left to stand up to the woke mob? Yes, there are. Just needs leadership to mobilize them. Okay? I think most Americans are tired of this garbage. I was talking to a culture warrior, Bishop Robert Barron, over the weekend, and he asked the same question to me. And I said, look, I really believe critical mass has been reached. And most Americans are tired of this garbage, but it takes a leader to mobilize. Peter Dobelman, Omaha, Nebraska. Bill, you mentioned you would never buy a German automobile because they used slave labor from concentration camps during World War II. What are your feelings on Japanese automobiles? Totally different story. So the German manufacturers, they were helping Hitler all over the place. Okay? The Japanese, their industry at that point was minuscule. All right? It was only after World War II when we saved their butt and rebuilt the Japanese economy that Toyota and all these people rose. So it wasn't close to the participation of Germany. All right, once you go to Dad, come on. Father's Day, if you haven't got to get on it now. Now, we might be out of the not woke mugs. I mean, they're going at it like crazy. We got not woke mug and a white Team Normal baseball cap together for less than $40. Come on. I mean, we're keeping the price down. You got the Team Normal hat. You got the not woke mug. And then we got the not woke mug in the United States of Trump. Okay, this is only $35. These are tremendous gifts for Dad and Granddad. Then we have the big one, the leather-bound limited edition of Killing Patton. You're not going to see this around. You get this for Dad or Granddad, they're going to like you for a long time. This is a great book. We got a bundle. Killing Witches, Legends, Killers, Mob, Crazy Horse. 33% off all of those. Tremendous gift, as usual. And Confronting the Presidents. If you become a premium or concierge member to BillO'Reilly.com, you get this book free of charge out September 10th. You will love this book. There's so much information in that. It's incredible. So you get free. Or you can pre-order it. Word of the day, no Lusk. L-U-S-K. I bet you don't know what that means. L-U-S-K. Great word. Look it up. You'll remember it forever. Back with the final thought in a moment. You all know that due to cancel culture, Mike Lindell and MyPillow no longer have the support of their box stores or shopping channels. So they want to pass those savings directly to you. Thanks to their dedicated employees, MyPillow has hundreds of products, some you may not even know about. To spread the word, they are having a $25 extravaganza. For just $25 each, you can get 2-pack multi-use MyPillows, 6-pack towel sets, sandals, and more. For the first time, get premium MyPillows with all new Giza fabric, any size, any loft level, for just $25. This amazing offer will not last long. So please visit mypillow.com or call 1-800-869-0298. Use promo code BILL for free shipping on any order over $75 today. That's mypillow.com, code BILL. Everything is expensive these days, you know that. The government is printing trillions of dollars and consumer prices higher than ever. If the government continues its printing and spending, the dollar could continue its free fall and lose its coveted role as the world reserve currency. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But there are a few things you can do right now. American Hartford Gold can show you how to protect your money, your retirement, your hard-earned savings against inflation by helping you diversify a portion of your portfolio into physical gold and silver. Start with a short phone call, and they can have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your 401k or IRA. So please call or text them right now. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you. Call 877-444-GOLD, 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Again, that's 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Okay, here's the final thought of the day. So I kind of torture my urchins because I want to impart a lot of information to them as long as I'm here on the planet and lucid. You know, when they were little, it was more about guiding them. But now that they're older, I'm trying to give them the stuff that I've learned, sometimes the hard way. So my son is much smarter than I am. He is. When I was his age, I was a total idiot. This kid is really brilliant. So I mentioned that I'm assembling things for a possible memoir. All right, next year, 2025, will mark 50 years in journalism for me. And he's a wise guy, all right, Mike. So he kind of did double take, and he looks at me and he goes, well, you better do that quick. I said, why? He goes, well, the memory's going. My memory. He goes, I don't want you to be, ready? I don't want you to be like Uncle Junior. He's the Sopranos. I mean, I had to laugh out loud. Uncle Junior enters the conversation. My own son turns on me, comparing me to a gangster, Uncle Junior in The Sopranos. Hysterical. So I have these conversations all the time, all right? And I know some of them are a little bit boring for the urchins because I'm taking them back to places and times that they have no interest in, really. You know, do they care about really what happened in the Vietnam War and the demonstrations after, and then Watergate, and then disco? Disco, maybe a little bit, because they still hear some of the music, the Saturday Night Fever stuff. But there's always a point to my reminiscence. I'm not like Uncle Junior here. I'm trying to make a point that if you do A, B is likely to happen. All right? I still get mail, by the way, and this is interesting. So I got a concierge letter today about Tulsi Gabbard, who has a book out, and we like the book, and Ms. Gabbard was on the program. And the guy is adamant, who's writing me, the concierge member, that our participation in the Ukraine war is wrong and terrible for America. I mean, and there are people who believe that, firmly believe it, okay? And Ms. Gabbard is being one of them. I mean, they would let Ukraine go, let Putin take it, no problem, okay? And they got a million reasons to back it up. Now, I try to bring a sense of history to it, which I do to my children as well, okay? And they're probably sick of hearing about it. But I try to reason. I've done this 100 times. Look, if you let Putin run wild, he's not going to stop at Ukraine. Everybody knows that. Megalomaniac, Hitler light. It'll just be chaos. And then Chinese see that, and their next step is that, wow, we want Taiwan. And the whole world just goes up, all right? And that includes the Middle East, that America loses credibility, NATO loses credibility, we are weak, Putin in China is strong, North Korea, provocations, all over. It just never ends. It never ends. Now, I know as a historian, that's what it led to World War II. It's exactly the same thing. Okay, when Hitler was pushing it, they could have stopped him early. Britain and France could have stopped him when he remilitarized the Saar Basin, when Hitler violated the Treaty of Versailles. All Britain and France had to do was just come in and kick the Germans out. They were much stronger than the Germans in 1937. Okay, but Hitler was pushed. Let's see what they do. He didn't believe that they would, and that's what Putin's doing. And Xi, to a certain extent, in China, with the provocations all over the place. And I bring this history in to the concierge member. I don't know if I'm going to convince him or not. A lot of this stuff is emotional. You know, Fortress America, you can't have it. Our economy crashes here if the world economy crashes. It's all intertwined, one world, okay? And it is. Okay, everybody's got to be working for free marketplace, generating prosperity for their people. You got dictators on the run, taking over countries. My God. But anyway, back to my son, who's a very bright guy. So I got a good laugh out of the Uncle Junior reference. And I said, if I wrote my memoirs, would you even read them? And he goes, I'm not sure. And then he goes, why would I read them when I've heard all the stories? Pretty smart. Thank you for watching and listening to the No Spin News. See you tomorrow. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.